Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually we are sitting here with a dense nonfiction book or a stack of academic research papers on economics or history.
Hmm.
We're usually trying to decipher complex theories or, global trends, but today feels different.
It does. It feels fresher. It feels like spring. It
Yeah.
feels like anticipation.
Exactly. It feels like fresh cut grass and infield dirt. Today, we are diving into something that is, I would argue, more high stakes than some of the business books we cover.
I'd agree with that.
We are looking at the heartbeat of a community. We are breaking down the kickoff for the 2026 season of the Lawrence Little League.
That's right. And for everyone listening, specifically the coaches tuning in, we're kind of acting as your guides. Think of us as your veteran league directors for the next hour or so, walking you through what we're calling the Coach's Success Guide.
And honestly, if you are listening to this, I just want to start with a reality check. You volunteered, you stepped up,
Yeah.
you are the backbone of this entire operation.
Absolutely. And it's not a small thing. I think people really underestimate the impact of the youth coach. You are stepping into a role that carries a lot of weight, but also just a tremendous amount of joy.
We have this massive stack of documents here. We're calling them the big three, and we are going to tear them apart and analyze them. But before we get into the logistics, let's frame the mindset. This isn't just a list of obligations. This isn't just make sure you bring the equipment bag.
No, if you view it as a checklist, you're going to miss the forest for the trees. But if you shift the perspective, what we are really looking at here is a blueprint for heroism.
Heroism, I like that.
And I don't mean that in a cheesy cape-wearing way. I mean, you have the chance to be a hero to a group of kids who might remember this season for 30, 40 years.
That's the stakes. So let's introduce our master prompt for this deep dive. We are looking at three critical sources. The coach's information packet, which is your logistics Bible.
Your go-to for everything.
Then there's the LTJ-BSA player development rubric, which is honestly fascinating, and we will spend a lot of time there.
Secret sauce.
And the draft guide, which covers how we create teams.
The Trinity of Little League.
The Trinity. And we have a mission today. We want to define the brand of the league for 2026. And that brand is defined by three simple words. Try, learn, grow.
Try, learn, grow. Sounds so simple, right? But when you actually apply it to a competitive environment, it's actually profound. It shifts the entire axis of why we are out there.
I want to get one mandatory ground rule out of the way immediately. The sources are very, very explicit about this, and I want to make sure we honor it whenever we talk about the sport in this league.
We are talking about softball and baseball.
In that specific order.
Always. Softball and baseball. Because the philosophy, the rubric, the draft mechanics, they apply equally to both.
Yeah.
We are one league, one family. It's not, two separate entities doing their own thing. It's one community moving in the same direction.
So what's our goal for this deep dive? If you are a first-time coach, maybe you are staring at your fresh cap and whistle and you're terrified.
We've all been there.
You're thinking, do I actually know how to run a practice? Can I manage a dugout of 8-year-olds? We want to turn you into a confident leader.
And if you're a returning coach, maybe you've done this for 3 years, you might be feeling a little burned out or you're stuck in your ways running the same drills you ran back in 2024. We want to take you from being a manager to being an inspired mentor. We want to reignite that spark.
Okay, let's jump right into chapter 1, the philosophy. The why.
You cannot teach the how if you don't understand the why. Everything, and I mean everything, flows from the philosophy.
The coach's information packet opens with a really interesting, I'd say slightly counterintuitive point. It basically admits right up front that softball and baseball are games of failure.
They are the ultimate games of failure. Think about it. In what other aspect of life, or any other sport, really, can you fail 7 times out of 10 and be considered a legend?
A .300 batting average.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A .300 hitter is a Hall of Famer. That means they failed 70% of the time. They walked back to the dugout disappointed 70% of the time. They struck out, grounded out, flew out, and yet they are the best in the world.
So if the game is built on failure, what does that mean for a coach in Lawrence? How does that change your approach on a Tuesday night practice?
It changes the definition of success. If your goal is winning a plastic trophy, then every time a kid strikes out or drops a pop-up or throws the ball into the parking lot, that's a tragedy.
Right.
It's a step away from your goal. You get frustrated, maybe you yell, the kid cries, the parents get tense. It's a whole negative spiral.
But if the goal is try, learn, grow...
Then that strikeout is just data. It's just part of the process. The source material emphasizes that Lawrence is a development league first. We aren't the New York Yankees. We aren't the Oklahoma Sooners softball team.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. We are a pipeline.
Let's unpack that pipeline concept because it feels like a really big picture idea that's easy to miss when you're just trying to figure out who brought the orange slices.
It is big picture. We aren't just coaching an 8-year-old team in a vacuum. We're taking a child at age 4 in T-ball, and we are starting a journey that we hope lasts through age 16.
Wow.
That is a 12-year developmental arc. That is a massive part of a childhood.
That is a huge span of time, most of their childhood, really.
It is. And the mission, as described in the documents, is that we want to support youth sports in Lawrence, Ewing, and Hopewell. The end game is to produce competitive high school players. We want these kids to eventually wear their school colors with pride and skill.
But you don't build a high school shortstop by treating an 8-year-old like a pro.
Precisely. You don't build a high school player by screaming at a second grader for missing a grounder. You build them by making them love the game enough to come back next year.
Ah, that's the key.
That's the whole thing. If they don't have fun at age 8, they are not playing at age 14. The pipeline breaks, they quit, they find something else, and we lose that potential.
That connects to the hashtag I keep seeing in the documents. Hashtag playball8648.
Yes, 08648, the Lawrence zip code. It represents home. The documents talk about the hometown feel. These are safe, trusted fields. We want the kids to feel like this is their second home, a place where they can try something new, fail safely, learn from it, and high-five their friends.
I love that. So, practically speaking, how does a coach execute this development over trophies mindset? Because it's easy to say have fun, but in the heat of a close game, the competitive instinct, it takes over.
It does. We're all human. But the coach's information packet gives us 2 very specific, non-negotiable directives to protect us from our own competitive instincts.
Okay, what are they?
Number 1, rotate players through all defensive positions.
All of them, even the ones they are maybe not so good at.
All of them. Now, obviously, safety is a factor. We will talk about the rubric later regarding safety in positions like first base or catcher. You don't put a kid at first base who can't catch a thrown ball. That's just dangerous.
Of course.
You don't put a kid at catcher who is afraid of the ball.
Yeah.
But generally,
Yeah.
yes, you don't hide the weak player in right field all season long.
That happens a lot in other leagues. The right field exile.
It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely destroys a kid's confidence. They know why they are out there. Everyone knows. And conversely, you don't keep your best athlete at shortstop every single inning just to secure the win.
Because that shortstop might grow up to be a catcher or an outfielder.
Exactly. If they never play those positions at age 9 or 10, they are developmentally stunted when they get to the big diamond. You are robbing them of crucial skills just to win a plastic trophy today. You are prioritizing the win over the pipeline.
That's a really powerful way to put it. Okay, so that's directive 1. What's the second one?
Equal at bats. We use a continuous batting order. Everybody hits.
Because we don't bat 9 and sit the rest.
Never. If you have 12 kids on the team, you have a batting order of 1 through 12. Every kid gets their shot. Every kid is in the lineup. It's that simple.
I love that. It reinforces that everyone is a part of the team, not just the starters.
It really does. And frankly, it takes a ton of pressure off the coach.
Yeah.
You don't have to agonize over a lineup card to optimize for a win or deal with parents asking why their kid is on the bench. You just cycle through the kids. You let them play. You let them try. You let them fail. You let them grow.
Okay, let's unpack this idea of growth a bit more, because this leads us directly into Chapter 2, and what I think is the most insightful part of all this source material. The rubric.
The LTJBSA Player Development Rubric.
Yeah.
And you pronounce it LTJBSA. This is the secret sauce.
It really is. I was reading through this, and I realized this isn't just a grading sheet. It's a philosophical shift.
Hey.
It was created with local high school and college coaches, right?
That's right. And that is so crucial because it aligns the vocabulary. It ensures that what we are teaching at age 9 matches what they need to know at age 15. We aren't teaching them tricks that work in Little League but fail in high school. We're teaching foundational truths.
The document makes a pretty bold distinction. It says we need to shift from results-oriented coaching to process-oriented coaching. That sounds a bit like corporate buzzwords. What does that actually look like on the dirt?
This is where it gets really, really interesting. The rubric defines success not by the outcome of the playout or safe, hit or miss, but by the mechanics of the player.
Give me a concrete example.
Okay, let's take throwing. This is the classic example provided right in the text.
Yeah.
Imagine you have 2 kids. Kid A is big, strong, maybe an early bloomer.
Uh-huh.
He picks up the ball and just muscles it across the diamond. He throws it hard, but if you watch closely, he looks like he's putting a shot put. He's pushing the ball with his shoulder. Bad form.
But the ball gets there. The runner's out.
The ball gets there. It's fast. He gets the out. Results-oriented coaching says, "Great job, Timmy. You're our shortstop. You're a star."
Right. The parents are cheering. The kid feels great. Mission accomplished.
But the rubric says, that is a level 1 throw.
Level 1. But he got the out. How can that be level 1?
It's level 1 because it is mechanically flawed. It is not scalable. As he gets older and the field gets bigger, that pushing motion will hurt his arm, or the ball will die before it reaches first base. He will plateau at age 12 because he's relying on brute strength he had early, not on proper mechanics.
Okay, so compare that to Kid B.
Kid B might be smaller. Maybe the ball doesn't travel as fast right now.
Mhm.
But Kid B fields the ball, steps with the opposite foot, leads with the elbow, and creates that proper power L shape with the arm. The mechanics are beautiful. Textbook.
But what if the throw bounces? Or it's a little offline and the runner is safe?
Even if the ball bounces, even if he doesn't get the out, that is a level 3 throw.
Wow. So a level 3 throw that results in an error is actually better than the level 1 throw that got the out.
Precisely. Because level 3 mechanics are sustainable. Level 3 mechanics can be built upon. Velocity comes with age and strength. You can't teach puberty, right? But mechanics, that has to be taught. If you lock in those bad level 1 mechanics because you're just chasing outs, you are setting that kid up for failure later.
That is a huge aha moment. It completely changes how you watch the game. A successful play doesn't always mean mastery.
And a mistake doesn't mean a lack of development.
So the rubric gives the coach a language to explain this gap to, say, an anxious parent.
Exactly. You can say to a parent, look, I know he dropped the ball, but did you see his footwork? He moved his feet perfectly to get in front of it. That's a level 3 skill. The catch will come. We are celebrating the footwork today.
That is such a valuable tool for de-escalating those "my kid should be the shortstop" conversations.
It objectifies the development. It's not just your opinion as a coach. It's the rubric. It's the standard. And I want to point out, we avoid ratings. We don't rate kids. We assess their level. It's a ladder they are climbing, not a grade they're stuck with.
That's a great distinction. Let's walk through these levels, 0 to 5, because I think it's important for the coaches to understand the progression.
Sure. So level 0 and 1 are really about coach direction and imitation.
This is T-ball age, mostly.
Mostly, yes. Level 0 is, frankly, beautiful chaos. They don't know where the bases are. They're picking dandelions in the outfield. Level 1 is imitation. They do it because you're standing right there telling them, step here, throw there. They're little robots.
Okay. Then we hit level 2.
Level 2 is structured environment. This is practice. They can do the skill when you are doing a drill. There is no pressure, the ball is on a tee, or you are soft tossing it to them from 5 feet away.
But they can't quite do it in a game yet.
Right, and that is the frustration point for so many parents. He does it in the backyard. Why can't he do it in the game? Because the game is chaos. The game is stress. This is where you see what we call alligator hands, short-arming the catch because they're thinking too much instead of just reacting.
Which brings us to level 3. This sounds like the holy grail for the younger divisions.
Level 3 is live game usability. This is the baseline. This is when the kid can execute the skill, proper mechanics, proper decision in a live game without the coach screaming instructions from the dugout.
So they see the ground ball, they know to field it and throw to first, and they do it with the power L.
Yes. That is level 3. That is independent execution. That's a huge milestone.
And level 4?
Level 4 is game speed reliability. Now we are adding speed and consistency. They can do it when the runner is fast. They can do it when the game is on the line. They're not just doing it, they're doing it reliably under pressure.
And finally, level 5.
Level 5 is competitive adaptability. This is high school level stuff. This is adjusting your swing because the pitcher's throwing a curveball. This is changing your arm slot on a throw because you have to get it off quickly from an awkward position. It's fluid and reactive.
So really, for our Little League coaches, we are mostly living in that level 1 to level 3 range, with maybe some advanced kids touching level 4.
That is the sweet spot. If you can get a team of kids from a collective level 1 to a collective level 3 by June, you have done an incredible job, regardless of the win-loss record. You have built a foundation.
It really emphasizes that development is a marathon, not a sprint. And it helps parents understand that their child isn't being held back if they are in minors instead of majors. They're being built up.
Built up. I love that phrasing. It's about building a foundation that won't crack when they get to the big diamond.
Speaking of building teams, let's move to Chapter 3, the draft.
Ah, the draft. The night where destiny is decided. Or so it seems.
It can be a really high-stress event in some leagues, but reading the How We Create Teams document, Lawrence seems to have a very specific vibe they are going for.
They do. The tone is collaborative. It's partners, not rivals.
I noticed that. They explicitly state that the goal is parity. Why is parity so non-negotiable here? Why not just let the best coach build the best team?
Because super teams are toxic for a community league. They're just bad for everyone involved.
Even for the kids on the super team.
Especially for them. Think about it. If you stack one team with all the best pitchers and all the best hitters, they go 15-0. They mercy rule every opponent in 4 innings.
Sounds fun for them at first.
For a minute, maybe. But what are they learning? They aren't learning resilience. They aren't learning how to handle a close game or a loss. They aren't learning execution under stress because there is no stress.
And meanwhile, the other teams.
The other teams are just getting crushed. Their fielders don't get opportunities to make plays because their pitchers are walking everyone or the hitters are striking out. The ball is never in play. Nobody grows in that scenario. It's just a waste of a season for most of the league.
So how does the draft mechanism prevent this? They use something called Plan B alternate redraft method.
It sounds complicated, but it's actually the fairest way. It's a complete redraft every single year. No keeper leagues, no dynasties. Every year is a fresh start for every kid.
And they use a snake draft.
Right. It's a simple and elegant solution. So let's look at the math. If you have 4 teams, the draft order for round 1 goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Then round 2 snakes back and goes 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I see.
Then round 3 goes 1, 2, 3, 4 again.
So the person with the first pick doesn't also get the 5th pick. They have to wait all the way until pick number 8.
Exactly. It distributes the talent. If you get the consensus best player in the league, you have to wait a long time for your second player.
Yeah.
It forces balance from the very first round.
Now, there are some specific rules that coaches need to know. One is about the head coaches drafting their assistants.
This is the anti-stacking rule. It's
Uh-huh.
brilliant. You know how it goes. 2 dads want to coach together because their kids are both all-stars. They want to combine forces and dominate the league.
The league says no to that,
The league says, fine, you can coach together, but you have to draft the assistant's kid.
meaning you have to use a draft pick on them. You don't just get it for free as part of the deal.
Correct. And crucially, you have to draft them in the round where they are valued. If that assistant's kid is a clear first-round talent based on the assessments, the head coach must use their first-round pick to get them.
So it costs you, it's a strategic cost.
It costs you a high pick. It levels the playing field immediately. You can't hoard talent just by teaming up with another parent.
That is smart. What about skill positions? The document mentions balancing catchers and pitchers.
This is a safety issue as much as this is a fairness issue. Honestly, it's more about league health. We don't want one team ending up with 3 experienced catchers and another team having 0.
Because if you have no catcher,
The game just stops. Balls go to the backstop every pitch. It's miserable for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous to put an unskilled kid back there cold. So coaches are expected to collaborate in the draft room. If you are sitting there with 2 catchers already and it's your turn to pick, and the best player available is a 3rd catcher,
you pass. You
Yeah.
take someone else.
you let that player slide to the team that has none. You have to think about the league's viability, not just your team's roster. The document frames them positively. We're ensuring every team has a field general behind the plate. We are partners building a season, not rivals trying to bankrupt each other.
And there's a specific rule about 12-year-olds in the majors.
Yes, the majors rule. Coaches must draft all available 12-year-olds first.
Why is that?
It's a Little League International standard, but the philosophy behind it connects to our pipeline. 12 is the final year of the traditional Little League diamond. We want those kids to have the majors experience before they age out and move to the bigger fields. You don't leave a 12-year-old in the minors. It's their year.
Got it. And logistically, this is all happening virtually?
Yes, on a weeknight. So you can be in your living room, maybe with a beverage, looking at your spreadsheet. Convenience is key. It's a relaxed environment, not a tense war room.
One last thing on the draft carpools and teammate requests. Parents love to ask for these. Can Johnny play with Billy so I can carpool?
The document is pretty firm on this. In the competitive divisions, which is basically everything after T-ball, requests are generally not honored.
That's a tough message for parents to hear sometimes.
It is, but parity takes precedence. It has to. If you start honoring every best friend request, the snake draft falls apart. You end up with clicks and imbalances. The whole system breaks down. The only exception, obviously, is for siblings. They will always be on the same team.
Okay, so you have your team, the draft is done, now you have to actually manage this team. Let's talk about Chapter 4, the tech stack.
The coach as CEO and COO.
I love that analogy. We have two main apps here, and the relationship between them is, let's call it specific, and very important to understand.
It's a relationship that can cause a lot of headaches if you don't get it right from day one. You have Sports Connect, which is the website, ltjbsa.com, and you have Game Changer, which is the app on your phone.
What is the difference? Why do we need two?
Sports Connect is the source of truth.
The source of truth. That sounds very official.
It is. It means the official roster, the official league schedule, the official email list.
Yep.
It all lives in Sports Connect. That is the master database. That is what pays the insurance and reserves the fields.
And Game Changer.
Game Changer is the communication hub. That's where you do your live scoring, where parents RSVP for practices and games, where you have the team chat. It's the front end for the parents. It's the day-to-day tool.
But there is a trap here, a very specific tech trap that catches new coaches every single year.
The one-way sync.
It sounds like a bad 90s techno band.
It does. But here is the deal, and every coach needs to hear this. Sports Connect pushes data to Game Changer. Game Changer does not push back to Sports Connect.
So I, as a coach, pull out my phone and I create a practice event inside the Game Changer app because it's easy and I'm on the go.
It never happened. In the eyes of the league, it doesn't exist.
And more importantly, it doesn't reserve the field.
Exactly. You show up for your 6 p.m. practice on field A because you put it in Game Changer. But the league never knew, so another team is already there. And they have the official permit from Sports Connect.
That's an awkward conversation to have in front of 29-year-olds.
It's a totally avoidable, awkward conversation. So the rule is always edit the schedule in Sports Connect on the website. Let it sync down to Game Changer. Never, ever the other way around.
And there is a first sync protocol. What's that about?
Yes. So when the teams are first formed after the draft, the league pushes the rosters from Sports Connect to Game Changer. But the data just sits in limbo until the head coach opens their app for the first time.
So the parents are all at home, refreshing their phones, waiting to see their kid's team.
And they see nothing. They start emailing, where's the team? It's because the coach hasn't opened their Game Changer app yet to allow the sync to happen. It's like you have to turn the key to start the engine.
So step 1 after the draft, open your app.
Please, for the love of all that is holy, open your app, save yourself a dozen email.
Now, managing all this tech and the chat and the RSVPs, that is a lot for one person who is also trying to teach a 9-year-old how to bunt.
Which is why the source material strongly recommends, I would say almost mandates recruiting a team parent.
The COO of the team.
Yes. Do this immediately. At your first practice, find that organized parent. You know the one who answers emails in 30 seconds? The one with the color-coded calendar? Ask them for help.
What are their key responsibilities?
First, they manage the Game Changer chat. So you, the coach, aren't fielding what color socks do we wear, text at midnight.
Yeah.
But the big one, the most important one, is Snack Shack duty.
Ah, the Snack Shack, a hallowed institution.
It is. And every team is required to cover 2 nights of Snack Shack duty during the season. This happens when the team is practicing, so the parents are already at the park. But someone has to organize it and send reminders. You do not want to be the head coach trying to schedule families for shifts while you're writing your lineup card.
Delegate, delegate, delegate.
Delegate so you can focus on the kids on the field. That is the message. Your job is to teach softball and baseball, not to manage a volunteer shift schedule.
Let's pivot to what happens on that field. Chapter 5. Season and developmental goals by division.
This section really helps us apply that rubric we talked about to the specific age groups. It makes it really practical.
Let's start with the little ones. T-ball, ages 5 and 6, corresponds to levels 0 and 1 on the rubric.
The focus here is 100% fun and fearlessness.
Fearlessness. Why that word specifically?
Think about it from a 5-year-old's perspective. A baseball or softball is a hard object. A bat is a hard stick. It can be genuinely scary. The number one goal is to make them feel safe and confident, to not be afraid to swing the bat or have a ball rolled at them.
So we are not worrying about turning double plays.
No, we are worrying about them knowing which way to run. The document literally says a key goal is learning to run to first base, not third.
That happens more often than you think.
It does. If they end the season knowing the bases, smiling and not being afraid of the ball, you have won. That is a successful T-ball season. Full stop.
Okay, moving up. Minors AA and AAA. This is ages 9 to 12, levels 2 and 3 on the rubric.
Now we are moving from those structured drills to independent decisions. This is the transition zone. This is where the light bulbs really start going on and they begin to look like actual ball players.
And specifically regarding pitching, this is when kids start pitching for the first time.
Pitching is huge here. The focus is on repeatable mechanics.
Yeah.
Balance, step, throw, rather than velocity.
We don't want them trying to throw as hard as they can if they can't find the plate.
Right. It's about building a foundation for a healthy arm. And for softball and baseball, this is where the specific nuances appear. In softball, we are looking for that windmill motion circle and step. In baseball, it's the power L we talked about. But in both cases, it's about control and repeatability. We are building the engine, not just pressing the gas pedal.
And finally, we get to majors and the 50-70 division. This is ages 11 to 14. We're in levels 3 and 4 territory.
Now the focus shifts to execution under stress.
The game speeds up a lot here.
It does. It's all about reliability at game speed. Can a catcher properly frame a pitch on the corner to get a strike call? Can a batter adjust their approach with a two-strike count, what we call working the count, instead of just hacking at everything?
This is where the strategy, the real chess match, comes alive.
It is.
Yeah.
But remember, they only get here if they had that foundation of fun in T-ball and focused on mechanics and minors. It's all connected. You can't execute under stress if you don't have the fundamentals baked in.
Okay, that's great. Now, Chapter 6, Safety and Logistics. Because nothing derails a season faster than confusion over weather or bad behavior.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the weather protocol. There is a very specific rule here that saves everyone's sanity.
The 4.45 p.m. rule.
Pronounced 4:45, not quarter to 5. 4:45.
Why that specific time?
Because the league officers have day jobs, they're volunteers, they're watching the weather radar from their desks, just like you are. They're trying to make the call as late as possible to save the game, but early enough so you don't pack up the whole family and drive to the field for nothing.
So the message is, don't email the league president at 2:00 p.m. asking if the game is on.
Please don't. Just wait for the official announcement. It will come via Facebook and Instagram at 4:45 p.m. If you haven't heard anything by then, assume you are playing. Pack the car and head to the park.
Simple enough. Now, sportsmanship. The document mentions a zero-tolerance policy.
And they mean zero. No confrontational behavior. Not from players, not from parents, and certainly not from coaches. We are the adults in the room. We set the tone.
What if an umpire blows a call? I mean, it happens. They're human. Sometimes they are kids themselves.
It happens constantly. They are learning too, just like the players. The protocol is very specific. You do not scream from the dugout. You ask for timeout. You walk out calmly. You ask for an explanation, not an argument. Hey, Blue, can you tell me what you saw there?
And then?
And then you accept it, and you leave the field.
That's it. No appeal.
That's it.
Yeah.
There is no arguing judgment calls, and there is a specific note in the packet. You cannot seek help from another umpire.
Oh, so you can't ask the field umpire to overrule the plate umpire on a check swing or something?
You can ask the umpire who made the call if they would like to confer with their partner. But you cannot go over their head and appeal to the other ump. It's about respect for the position. We are teaching the kids how to handle authority and disagreement with grace.
That is a life lesson right there. A really important one.
It really is. The
Yeah.
kids are watching how you handle that bad call more closely than they are watching the call itself. If you lose your cool, you've just given them permission to lose their cool. And that's not what we're about.
Well said. Okay, before we wrap up, we have to talk about the fun stuff. Chapter 7, Community Spirit. Because Lawrence Little League isn't just about the games, it's about the vibe.
The vibe is immaculate. And it starts at the center of the universe, the world-famous Snack Shack.
Located in the heart of Lawrence Central Park. I have heard rumors about the chicken tenders.
They aren't rumors.
Okay.
They're legends. They are scripture. The chicken tenders are locally famous. I don't know who the supplier is. I don't know the recipe. But they are incredible. People come to the park just for dinner, even if they don't have a kid playing.
And the tech extends to the Snack Shack, too.
It does. This is brilliant. There's mobile ordering via QR code. You can be sitting in the stands watching your kid. You scan the code on the bleacher, order your tenders and fries on your phone, and get a text when it's ready to pick up between innings. No missing the action standing in line.
That is game-changing, literally.
It is civilized. It makes the whole evening so much easier for families who are rushing from work to the field.
And the fields themselves, the actual playing surfaces.
The document expresses a lot of genuine pride in the field upgrades. Little and growing is the phrase they use. The facilities at Hughes Field and Central Park are getting better every single year. It's a professional feeling environment for these kids. We are really lucky to have these resources in our town.
We have some key dates that every coach needs to mark down right now. Get your calendars out.
Bold these, circle them, put stickers on them.
April 11th.
Opening day parade. This is at Hughes Field. It is a spectacle. Every team, every uniform parading in. It feels like the Olympics for a 6-year-old. The energy is just off the charts. It's a must-do.
May 4th.
Photo night
Mm-hmm.
in the batting cages. It's organized chaos, but you get that classic team photo and that individual shot for the fridge that lasts forever.
May 11th.
Drive for the Diamond Golf fundraiser. This one's at Cobblestone Creek. This is for the parents and the community members. A great day out, and it's what funds those field upgrades we were just talking about.
And finally, June 2nd.
LTJBS A night at Trenton Thunder Stadium.
This is a huge deal.
It is. The Trenton Thunder are the local big deal team, part of the MLB Draft League. Our league gets to go, and the kids get to walk on the field before the game. For a kid, walking onto that professional grass, under the lights, it's pure magic.
It really is. It connects their Little League experience to the bigger world of baseball and softball.
And that brings us full circle, doesn't it?
It does. We started with the mission. Try, learn, grow.
And we end with creating lifelong memories.
As you head into this 2026 season, coaches, just remember, you are building the core player groups that are going to stay together through high school.
You are. You look at that group of goofy 8-year-olds in the dugout and you realize some of them are going to be best friends when they are 18. Some of them are going to be in each other's weddings. It starts right there.
And you, coach, are the one creating the environment where that friendship and that love for the game can take root.
It's a partnership. Parents, coaches, the league,
Oh.
we're all pulling in the same direction for these kids.
So wear the logo with pride, enjoy the chicken tenders, respect the process,
And trust the rubric.
and trust the rubric. We are wishing everyone a fantastic, safe, and fun 2026 season.
See you on the field.
#playball08648.